This video walks you through the installation of the AppDev container demo. This project is a demo built from the OSS on Azure demo framework. Please ensure you have the framework installed. This demo shows Linux containers running on Azure with Docker, Kubernetes, and Azure Linux PaaS with .NET Core. It also demonstrates Azure management integration with Application Insights and OMS. To get started, ensure you have the demo utility machine or Jumpbox server running. Here I'm going to go to my Azure portal. I can see the OSS demo utility resource group. Let me drill into the virtual machine. And here I can see that the virtual machine is running. At this point, you can SSH into that virtual machine or remote desktop. In my case, I'm going to remote desktop into the virtual machine. Ensure that you put the fully qualified domain name of the machine and connect. Enter your username as provisioned in the OSS on Azure demo framework. Re-authenticate as administrator. Once you're in the virtual machine, start a terminal server session. And now we're ready to install our AppDev demo. Let's go back to the GitHub and follow the instructions there. First of all, we're going to change our default directory into, or folder, into the source directory. Once in there, we're then going to do a git clone of all the scripts required for the AppDev demo. It's now bringing down the scripts. Now, let's go to modify the script file so that we can actually execute it. Hit enter there. And now we're ready to actually run the script. Next, it's checking to see if the Azure CLI is installed. We're going to leave the default directory for the install and also place the executable in the default executable folder or directory. Next, it should start installing the Azure CLI and downloading all components. Next, it's asking whether we should modify the profile to update your $path to enable shell or tab completion. Let's say yes to that. Let's leave the path as default for the resource configuration file. Hit enter. It's checking now to see if the Azure CLI has any updates and adding any components. Next, it's asking us to log into Azure. So let me browse to my device login page, open the link. Let's copy that code. Copy, let's paste it in. Hit continue. I'll log into Azure now. Enter my password. Hit sign in. At this point, it's asking for multi-factor authentication. So I'm going to go to my my phone, go to the Authenticator app, and approve that authentication. And now we should be logged into Azure. Now it's asking me if I want to change my default subscription. In my case, I do. So yes, let me type in my subscription name correctly. Hit enter. Do I want to create the resource groups required for this demo? This is the first time I'm running the script, so yes. It's now creating the Azure container registry. Now it's creating the App Insights resources. Next, it's asking whether all of our templates files are correct. I'm going to say no, so you can see that you do have a chance to edit the file to change any of your template names. In most cases, you do not need to edit it. Would I like to continue the setup? Yes. It's now showing me my current template values. Notice it does have my server prefixes correctly and all my keys. I'm going to hit enter to continue. It's now asking whether I want to change my default subscription. In my case, I do, so I'm going to say yes. Hit enter. Put in my Azure subscription name. And now we're going to be configuring the demo. It's asking whether I want to apply the JSON templates for the network rules and to create the IaaS, Kubernetes, and the PaaS resources. I'm going to say yes. So now it's actually creating the IaaS environment. Remember, in this demo, what we're showing here is the container portability, moving it from an infrastructure as a service, that's 2 VMs load balanced, running those containers in that environment, and then showing the same container application running in Kubernetes, and then finally showing the same container application running in our platform as a service web application running on Linux. It's now applying some of the network security groups. It's now creating the VMs. VM1 is created for the infrastructure as a service demo. VM2 is created. Here we're simply just waiting for the VMs to fully complete. So we're doing a simple countdown. We're simply sleeping for 30 seconds to ensure all the VMs are created, etc. We're now going through and configuring the environment via Ansible. So we're installing Docker, both on the demo machine and the two VMs that we created for the infrastructure as a service demo. We're updating Yum. We're removing any existing Docker components. Installing some utilities. All this is done via Ansible. Installing the Docker Community Edition. Installing the latest version of pip. We're doing that on the local host. That's this jump box on which we're running the script. And also on the two VMs for the infrastructure as a service demo. We are also installing the OMS agents and configuring. We're configuring the OMS service map. Now we're creating the Kubernetes cluster, creating the service principal, and waiting for that to propagate. This has been sped up in this video. Deploying OMS for Kubernetes. We're creating the app service web app. Updating the web app with the container details. Installing npm. Installing Bower. So this is essentially some tools to allow us to build the application. Here's Gulp. Installing the latest version of Python and pip. And we're complete. So in this video we showed you the installation and setup of the AppDev container demo, and there will be more videos shown including a walkthrough of how to demonstrate this application.